everybody, welcome to my channel, welcome to my studio. This is Shadowland, and I'm Monica Bodirsky, artist and author of the Shadowland Tarot and the House of Shadows Lenormand. So thank you for tuning in. This evening I want to talk about, well, this morning potentially, whenever you're watching this, I'd like to talk about the full moon. The full moon is cyclic, as we know, and every month that beautiful moon, if we are lucky enough to see it, shines down on us, and it is so bright and so beautiful, and the energy is incredible. I absolutely adore full moon energy. Some people find it a little bit troublesome because they can't sleep, they get restless. You know, there have been studies proving that there's a percentage of people who genuinely have insomnia very close to the full moon. It is about 3 nights, 99%, 100%, and about 98.6%. I consider that energy, though, so close to 100 that I kind of enjoy the full moon for 3 nights. It does change every month due to the planetary correspondence, as in the full moon in Virgo. That's going to have a slightly different energy. Sometimes they are super moons, sometimes they're micro moons. Beautiful harvest moon. You've heard me go on and on about the moon before. It gives me a great deal of comfort to know that my ancestors were looking up at that same moon and were using the energy for growth, agriculture, to honor the cycles of life. And so I make a point of doing a particular reading every month, and I'd like to share one of them. It's a 3-card reading about our gifts. And because we were mentioning the full moon in Virgo, and I love Virgo energy, especially for precision, but sometimes Virgo energy can be very much about being a little too critical. That comes with perfectionism, I think. So I thought, let's be positive about this and look at our gifts, perhaps the challenges that are inherent with those gifts that we possess naturally, and sometimes the hidden potential we might be overlooking that those gifts might give us. So I generally start my readings with grounding my own energy, and what I have here is a piece of raw moonstone. And I do find that this energy just shares so many of the qualities of the moon. Depends if you're into rocks and crystals. If not, all fine. Grounding can be as simple as taking a deep breath or two and leaving yourself a little quiet time and space. Okay, so let's get right to those 3 cards, shall we? Do you have your deck? All right, shuffle along. Okay, I'm going to do this genuinely, spur of the moment here, and pull these 3 cards and see what we get. So, what I want you to do after you've shuffled your cards, and remember, don't get too hung up on shuffling. It doesn't matter how you shuffle. My particular deck is a little thick. You might not be able to do the 2-hand folding into one another poker shuffle, okay? But nonetheless, move those suckers around, okay? Okay, so the first card I'm going to flip over is going into the center, all right? The second card is going to the left, and the third card is going to the right. And right away I can see an interesting pattern emerge. So the first card in the center is the full moon, sharing its knowledge and gifts and shining the light on your gifts, okay? And saying objectively, these are the gifts you possess. You were born with them. You came into the world with them. You may have cultivated those and you may have experience now, but these are gifts that just come to you naturally, okay? So, I happened to pull the Magician card, and I could say, okay, sure. How could I look at that Magician card? Well, there's many ways to look at the Magician card clearly. It's at the very beginning of the major arcana. Also, juggling lots of interesting things. Mad scientist comes to mind. I'll go with that. You have many ways you can look at the Magician, depending on the type of deck you're using. Some older decks call that the juggler. Some people equate it with a court jester in a way instead of the Fool card. Other people see it as very much magical and alchemical, okay? Mine's a little mad scientist. but it's about creativity. And I guess that's true. Okay, so if those were my gifts, the card on the left of that is a potential challenge. So look at your card and look at that card. Whether you see it as positive or negative is not what we're doing here. We're looking at the card in the context of it being a challenge. Okay, so for me, it's a pretty clear challenge. The Seven of Cups is sometimes emotions that interfere in decision making. Okay, so let's just say I have all this creative energy. Now I'm having a little bit of trouble deciding where to put all that creativity. Yeah, that's a fair assessment of that challenge. And if it's come up during this full moon reading, even if I'm aware of it, that's telling me before the next moon cycle begins, maybe I should focus on that challenge a little bit because it's probably coming into my life at this particular moment, okay? Or within the next moon cycle. What else do we have? The third card here to the right is the potential this gift has. Maybe it's a potential I haven't seen. The full moon is shining a light on a gift I'm probably not aware of, or if I am, again, maybe I just need to spend a little more time contemplating what that means. So I got the Hermit, this little ghost with a lantern. How would I interpret that? As potential, okay? I have the potential to come up with a lot of ideas and maybe draw conclusions, maybe do some deep soul searching, research, really being internal with how this creativity is affecting myself. I think that's a fair assessment. I spend a lot of time thinking about how creativity affects others. And what I'm picking up from that card for me is to take a little time out and look inwards at what other potential applications I have or ways within which I can discuss creativity or even share it. But look inward instead of seeking exterior validation, perhaps. Okay, so whatever your cards, take a look at them in the context of your gifts, the challenges that may come along with that particular gift, or gifts if you're doing a really in-depth reading with your card, which I hope you do, and also what the potential is. Maybe it's untapped potential. There is an opportunity for you to expand. And that's what that potential is about. So thank you very much, everyone. Have yourselves a wonderful full moon. Have yourselves a great week. Stay healthy, safe, and most of all, stay happy. Leave your comments below. Subscribe if you're enjoying these. Don't forget to hop over to IGTV if you want some free readings during the week. Okay, I'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.